Hello everyone, my name is Sean Woods, creator of Asylum of the Doomed, and I'm going to show you today what it's like to actually play this game that you're thinking about buying, which you totally should buy. It is a hell of a lot of fun, and honestly, the most replay value I've ever seen in a game in my life. That's kind of exactly what I designed it for. So, as you see here, there's the prototype box. I believe the actual box will be a little bit larger than this standard, maybe like Arkham Horror size box, things like that, with a nice matte finish. I'll go over at the end of this video all of the differences between the prototype that I have and the final project that you'll be buying, that you can actually see all the pictures for on the Kickstarter campaign that you're looking at. So give me a second and I will set this up. So as you can see, the game itself does not consist of an overly complex number of pieces and parts. For the most part, you've got your tiles that you'll explore throughout. There's 3 decks here that you'll be using throughout the game, which will include the items that you draw, skills, bad things that happen to you. And as the encounter meter progresses here, it will start to include monsters as well. You just shuffle them in kind of randomly. I'll show you through the video. These other 3 decks here are primarily for startup. When you start the game, you get a teen character at random, one of the stereotypical teens. You get a personal objective, which only you know about, and a number of sanity cards based on your character's sanity stat. This character happens to have 5 cards. So, as you see here, they can be anything from 0 to 3. This is an exceptionally good starting sanity hand. Not likely to go insane. So, the other things that you notice here, these will be replaced with thick, 1.2 millimeter thick little punch-out tiles, which you'll have, but these are your characters that you use to move around the board. There's also a pile of tokens here you'll see for sanity damage and wound damage. You'll also get a number of white, it'll be 20 white dice. And for the most part, it's pretty standard. Alright, so I've set up for a standard game here of 3 players that I will kind of maneuver myself to show you what the game is like. Now, I'm a little scrunched for space because I'm trying to fit this all in on camera, and normally people wouldn't be this close to each other, but each player, as you can see, has their own personal objective and their own sanity hand, which only they can see. Luckily, most of these players are pretty sane, having around 4 or more sanity each. So they'll stay working together most likely for a long time. This person has a quest or an objective to kill any encounter monster before getting out of the asylum, and actually has a Steel Resolve skill, which says that they cannot go insane. They basically just do not have an insane objective. Now, everyone starts with 2 items or skills out of the well-lit deck, which is most of the benign things in the well-lit deck. And so Bill Franks, the loner here, has started with the sneak attack skill. Annette Laren, the photography nerd, has some broken glass and the rally skill, so she can actually heal sanity damage. If you see my little black cat running around here, his name is Cyanide, and he's one of our mascots, but he's being a crazy little boy right now. I don't know if you can see all the way at the very end here, but Matt Lang, the gamer, has the Eerie Snow Globe and the Dodge skill. Surprisingly, everyone started with the skill. Usually doesn't happen. I just drew this at random after shuffling. The Eerie Snow Globe is actually my favorite item in the game because it will do AoE sanity damage to everybody around you. Now, for the most part, the game goes like this. You take your turn. Let's start off with Matt Lang over here since he's on the left, and he will explore out the rehabilitation wing. Now, he will draw a tile from the top until he gets one from the rehab wing, which happens to be. He can place it down however he wants to, as long as there's a connecting door to a connecting door. This one just happens to be a hallway, so he goes through there, and the little symbol in the corner states that he's going to draw from the well-lit deck. So he gets a weapon, which he can equip into one of his hands. Just because he drew it, he just happened to pick it up, and he's got it equipped now. That's going to effectively end his turn, because there's not really much more you can do at the beginning of the game. Not a lot of items or people around you. So next we're going to go to Annette Laren. She's going to move out the administration wing. So I'm going to have to dig down through the tiles until I get an administration wing. She has gotten a dead end right off the start, which is going to totally screw with my building here. So this is a crescent moon tile. So that is going to advance the encounter meter by 1 space. So as you explore, and tiles like the crescent moon, or you'll see later the pitch black moon, you'll advance the encounter meter. And on the new encounter meter, it's a lot more obvious how this works. But every time you hit 3 spaces, you advance another tier, which will shuffle monsters from the pile of monsters I have here into the decks at random. And you just kind of pick one under the table at random. And as you can see, they correspond to one of the 3 draw decks. And then, again, you shuffle it in there, and then you've got a monster in there that you potentially have to deal with in the near future. Well, Bill Franks here started off next to Annette, and is regretting that decision now. He's got 3 movements, so he can go 1, 2, 3, not quite get to a new space. So he's going to go out medical ward. So he's going to go 1, 2, and 3 out that way. So I'm going to dig down, second tile down is a medical ward / rehab ward. Some of the tiles go for multiple wings. And he's got another crescent moon, and it's a bloody hallway. And look at that, and the blood happens to line up just perfectly. And so he's going to advance the counter meter again, and he's going to draw, which she should have done, sorry. She should have drawn from that deck. He's going to draw from the poorly lit deck, and he gets a lucky coin. So he's got another item he can equip. Each item has a specific location on your body that you equip it to. Well, certain things you will not be able to equip to your body because you've already got something else equipped there. In the case of cursed items, you have to equip them, and you cannot replace them with anything else unless you get rid of them in one of very few ways. So, Annette got a pentacle necklace, and that actually gives her another sanity card, which I have over here, which is another 2. So she's really, really sane. And that just stays with the pentacle necklace. So in case she loses it, she'll lose that. She'll lose that sanity. So they are going to continue to explore out. Okay, so we're back to Matt Lang's turn. He's going to continue moving out rehabilitation ward, and he's going to get the pharmacology lab. Now he can orient this however he wants to, as long as there's connecting doors. So he's going to put it like that to keep the most accessibility as possible. And he's going to draw another item / weapon. Only he will see what he draws, unless he has to reveal it, which I'll show you one of those cards a little later. He's got no room in his hands for it, so he's going to put it in his backpack. He can just toss it straight in there. Then, since he explored a new room, stops his movement. This is all in the rule book if you want to read the rules. It's very simple. Annette Laren, she is out of place to go. She's dead-ended here. She's going to move her slow 2 movement and go back there. Bill Franks is going to continue out the medical hallway. So he's going to get a medical tile. Here's one right there. And he's found a dead end in the padded room. And he's going to draw a well-lit card. This is a reveal maintain card, and this is going to have an effect on everybody in a windowed room. So at the moment, you can see the windows here. They're little pencil. The tiles will be inked in. They look much nicer. You'll see them on the Kickstarter. But the only person in a windowed right now is going to be Matt Lang. So he's going to roll 2 dice and do whatever the card says. So he's going to roll. He rolls an 8. That's in the 2 through 9 category here. So chills run down your spine, but no bad things happen. On the other note, that then maintains for the rest of the game. So if one of the monsters is drawn, it will have an effect on them. a positive effect for the monster, a negative effect for the players. Okay, so Bill Franks is done, and it's back up to Matt Lang's turn. So he's going to go out this way, out of rehabilitation. So he's got an electroshock chamber, and he's going to corner it like this so it can lead back around. But that's another crescent moon, so that goes up to another one. He's going to draw his card first, and he gets the nice running shoes, one of the best items in the game. Increases his movement speed to 4 now, and he can equip that to his feet. Now, since we've reached the tier 1 here, we're going to get a monster card at random. So, not looking at this, just going to pull one out of the middle. Boom. And that's going to get shuffled into the deck. So we now have a monster in the deck. And Tiffany is my all-time least favorite monster. She one-shot me in the very first game that we ever played, before I made the monsters a little weaker. They still cannot be taken on one-on-one. It is incredibly rare to take on a monster by yourself and survive. So that is part of the mechanics that play into teamwork. So when monsters start coming out, you either start working together or you start dying. Which, if your objective is to get other people killed, that might work to your advantage to just spawn as many as you can and run away. Okay, so Matt Lang moves. He did his thing. Annette Laren's going to go. Now, this is one of the newer rules, is that she can't get to a new space this turn because she's so slow. And this is why this rule is in place. Now, she's going to come and move out this way. She can move 1, 2, and get to the rating room. Since no other player has explored or searched this room this round, she's going to go ahead and search the room. So she can just draw a card from that deck. If it happened to be one of the crescent moons or that, it would actually advance the encounter meter as well. So she's going to search the room. She gets some rope. She's going to not let people know she has rope, and she's going to put it in her backpack. So nobody knows that she's got that now but her. Bill Franks, back over here again. He can't get to a new room. He says, you know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and make life worse for you. I'm going to move here and search this room before moving on. So he's going to search the poorly lit deck, and he drew a reveal sanity damage card. And he also advances that encounter meter. So now this is going to hit Bill Franks. So he's got to roll 2 dice to see what's happening to him. He found some bloody footprints. He rolled pretty well, but not well enough. So bloody footprints have freaked him out. He takes a point of sanity damage. One little sanity token right there. This will go ahead and go to a discard deck, a discard pile. So ultimately, probably not the best idea to sit there and search that room. So the next person that is up, we're back to Matt Lang. He's going to continue out the rehabilitation ward. He's just going to keep exploring like us gamers love to do. He's going to get an administration/rehab ward, and he's found a narrow hallway. It's nice and bricked up, nowhere to go. He's going to get a well-lit deck card, and he's got a new skill. Since he has another skill out already, he's just going to put this into his backpack to learn later. You can only have 1 skill active at a time. Back up to Annette. She's gonna actually go out the rehabilitation ward. Since those are blocked off, she has found a potential exit. This is the crumbling corridor. First of all, it's going to move this tile up. First of all, she'll draw from the deck. She's got a new weapon. She's going to replace her old weapon and put the old one in the backpack. Now, she's going to go. This is going to go up 2 spaces because it's a pitch black tile, which gives us yet another monster. And this monster is going to go into the poorly lit deck. And for those of you wondering, the numbers in blue here, if you can read them, are the amount of monsters you put in at that tier. So the next tier we get to is going to shuffle 2 monsters into the decks. So it gets infinitely worse as you go. Okay, so now that we've done that, she drew her card, advanced the encounter meter. Now she has to roll 2 dice to see if this is actually the exit. You have to get an 11 or 12. It is really hard to find an actual exit off the bat. She rolled Snake Eyes, gets nothing. We have a little sealed exit token I just throw right there so that you can tell that that's not a way out. The team's going to move on. We're up to Bill Franks. He's going to come join the other guys, but he can only move 3 and doesn't get out of the lobby, or out of the entryway. Back to Matt. We're going to move out this way. He's going to go down to rehab, and he's found a soiled corner. Nice, lovely soiled corner, but a corner nonetheless, so he did not dead end yet. So we move that up 1. He gets a poorly lit card. He's found the other reveal maintain. This is the child giggling. So everyone in a non-windowed room, which would be Bill Franks and Matt Lang. So Matt's going to roll first. He rolls 4. That's really creepy, that there's a creepy spectral child giggling, but it doesn't freak him out. Bill Franks is going to roll. He rolls 10. That's really creepy. He's going to take another point of sanity damage. And from everyone else's perspective, it looks like Bill's starting to crack. They don't know that he has Steel Resolve. They don't know how much sanity he has. All they know is that he's taking some sanity damage, and he's coming for him. So it's back to Annette Laren's turn. She's going to move and keep exploring out Rehabilitation Ward. She get another tile. She gets the refuse pile. If you're working on a small table, like I currently am, sometimes you got to move stuff out of the way. Alright, so she moves to the refuse pile. It's another 3-way corridor. She's got to draw a will-lit card. She gets a reveal sanity, so she can potentially take some sanity damage here. She rolls a 9, 6 to 10. She thinks that's really slimy, and she's going to take a point of sanity damage. As you can see, this is how the game goes on for quite a long time, and after a while it'll build up, and you'll get monsters or you'll get people fighting each other. Anything can happen in this game. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and show you what it looks like a little further down the road. Okay, so I've gone through a few turns here that have actually been kind of important. As they were exploring around, Bill took some more sanity damage, drew a few more items. Annette drew a cursed item, which is the cursed high heels. So that lowers her movement speed by 1. So she now has a movement of only 1. There is very little she can get done in this game except for maybe keep exploring out. That is a bad situation to be in for someone who's already naturally slow. Matt Lang here is just at an interesting position. When you wrap a hallway back around to a wing or a ward that's been sealed off, the group can make a decision if they'd like to open it back up again. So here, Matt is just outside of the administration ward, or administration wing, and the group has decided, yes, let's go ahead and open this back up to the administration wing. So instead of continuing to draw on the rehabilitation ward, which he's been doing, he can now place down administration tiles. He gets the kitchens, so he's going to make that go that way, so it's going to open up to a lot more. Now, he just drew a reveal wound card, so he's going to have to roll for that and see what happens. On a 5, he got lucky, the dagger flew right by his face and did no damage. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead a little further. Okay, so not a lot has changed since you last saw it, but it's a very crucial moment that's about to happen. So Bill Franks is going to move his turn 1, 2, 3, and he's going to draw a card. Now, that reveals an encounter that is Tiffany. Now, right now, Bill is in a windowed room, so he is safe at the moment. Tiffany is just following him and actually providing him with extra sanity. Well, not really, because that's a 0 sanity card. But Tiffany is inherently good until you have a card out that they have, which is the reveal maintain child giggling. Now, if Tiffany, or Bill Franks, because Tiffany's following him, enters into a non-windowed room, which is about 50% of the rooms, Then she's going to turn into a demon, Hulk out, and try to kill him, or try to kill everybody. So, seeing that Tiffany's been revealed and that the child giggling is in play, the others are actually going to come and try to help him out. So, Matt Lang is going to go 1, 2, 3. Matt was able to get to a new tile, either there or there, at the start of his turn. So, in coming back this way, he cannot actually search that. The searching rule, it really is in place for people like Annette Laren, who's very, very slow, and now very, very slow. So she gets to move her one space. She is actually going to continue to search, where now she has to deal with a reveal sanity card. She rolls a 6, so she takes a point of sanity damage, and now it's back to Bill Frank's turn. Now Bill's got a couple of options. He can sit around here in these non-windowed rooms, maybe just in these windowed rooms, searching around, or he can move and spawn Tiffany. And Bill doesn't have any weapons or items, but he does have a lucky coin that gives him +1 to attack dice. So he's going to go ahead and move. And Bill's not that smart because he's the last player. So he's going to move it into a non-windowed room, and that is going to spawn Tiffany into the game as an encounter monster. Now Tiffany, or all encounter monsters, will go after the last player in the round ends their turn. So I have to find... So Tiffany is now in this room with Bill Franks. So he has moved one space. She spawns and turns into a monster. He's got some options still. What he's going to do is going to try to attack her before moving on. Now, she is quite threatening, actually. She has 5 attack dice and 5 defense dice and 6 hit points. She is very, very tough. Now, Bill is going to use his lucky coin, so he gets +1 attack dice there. He's got 3 base attack dice, which is 4. And he's going to use his sneak attack skill, which actually costs him a movement. So Bill Franks is going to fight Tiffany. He's got 3 base attack dice, a lucky coin that adds +1, and a sneak attack skill which adds +1 attack dice to him and lowers the enemy's defense by 1. So he's going to go ahead and use that. And you can only use it once per round. You can also only attack once per round. So that's going to bring Bill up to 5 total attack dice, whereas Tiffany will be brought down to 4 defense dice. So Bill's going to make his attack, and he's going to roll his dice. Now, when you're attacking and defending, successes, literally, are counted as 5s and 6s. So out of 5 dice, he rolled 3 successes. That is quite good. Now, he's trying to knock Tiffany out. With her incapacitated, she won't be able to defend herself. It'll be easier to kill her, which is usually a safe play. Now, he could also have tried to wound her, which would just do physical hit points damage, but since she has 6 hit points, that's probably not a wise decision. It'd be best to incapacitate her first. So she has to defend against those 3 successes. So she's gonna roll her 4 dice, and she only got 1 success. With knockout attacks, if you get if you overcome the defending player by 1 or more successes, that player or monster will become unconscious. So he has knocked her unconscious. Turn the little character sideways there, and now on her turn, which is actually coming up next, she will have to try to wake up. Now, with all players and monsters, the wake-up process is the same. You will roll 4 dice, and you need a total of 4 successes. And these add up over turns. So she got 1 success this turn. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that dice there. Next turn, she'll be able to roll 4 dice again, and keep adding up till she wakes up. So she didn't wake up. Since she's not a player, she doesn't take any sanity damage. So the next player gets to go. So that was the end. That ended that round now that the monsters have gone. So Matt Lang is now up. He's close by. He's going to move in 1 space here. And he has... Let's see here. Interesting. So he's gonna lose his dodge skill. He's gonna just go ahead and discard that to replace it with the shiv skill. And at the same time, so he moved there one. Learning a new skill doesn't cost you anything, which is fantastic. He's going to replace his rusty pipe with a bottle of clear liquid, which can be used as a weapon, kind of a one-time deal. So he's going to try to wound Tiffany, because she is already unconscious. So he's going to use his shiv skill, which is going to cost him 1 movement. So 1 to get there, 1 to pull the item out of the backpack, 1 to use the specific skill. So that would be 3. He has 4 movement total because he's got the nice shoes. And he's going to try to wound her. Now, he has 3 attack dice plus 2 more wound dice, and he's going to use this bottle. This bottle is a unique item here. There's only one of it. Now, when you want to break it over someone's head, you have to roll to see what happens. He rolled 4 on that, so the 2 to 7, it only gets plus 1 attack die. If it had rolled 8 to 12, it would be 3 extra wound dice versus unholy monsters, which she actually is because she's demonically possessed. So he gets plus 1 from this, one-time use, so it's going to go and break. So plus 1, 2, 3, and 3 base. He has 6 wound dice. This gamer knows how to play. He rolls only 2 successes out of those 6. So he's going to hurt her for 2 points. That's it. And since he still has a movement left and she's unconscious, he's going to go ahead and just move away to be a little safe if she wakes up. Annette's going to go ahead and move. She's going to choose not to search this turn. There's enough scary things going on already. And we're back to Bill Franks. So his skill is recharged since it's his turn again, or at every new round it recharges. So he's going to try to wound her too since she's unconscious. Now he can use his skill, the sneak attack skill, even though she's unconscious, to get plus 1 attack die, and the lucky coin is another 1, and the base of 3. So he's going to have 5 attack dice. Now, I mentioned this earlier briefly, but since she is unconscious, she cannot defend herself. The benefits of knocking somebody out or a monster out before trying to fight them or trying to wound them. So he's up to 5 wound dice. He's going to roll. He rolled a mighty haul of 4 successes out of 5. That is actually going to do 4 more points of damage to Tiffany. Wound dice, unlike knockout dice, will do a single point of damage beyond every defense. In this case, she has no defense. He hits her 4 times. She's already taken 2. That is going to be 6 damage. That killed her at an impressively fast rate. So she dies, goes to the discard, flops off the table, and the players will get back on with their exploration, trying to complete their quests. So Matt Lang has revealed the machine encounter. Now the machine spawns 1 to 3 tiles away. So he's going to roll a die 6 and determine where it goes. So it is going to spawn 1 tile away. 1 and 2 would be 1, 3 and 4, 2, 5 and 6, 3, obviously. So he's going to spawn the machine 1 tile away. It's going to go right there. Obviously you can't go through walls, so it's going to be right in between these 2 guys here. Now, in spawning that, he had explored this new room, which stops him there. He can't actually go any further. So he's just going to have to sit there. And while it's Annette's turn, and she's still super far away, she's going to keep moving. She's actually going to search that because maybe she wants to put all the monsters in the deck. Even though she's really sane, she just wants to get everyone killed. You can really play the game however you want to play the game. So she's going to do that. She's going to get her card. She's got the Necronomicon. Always a nice thing to play with. And then she's going to put 2 monsters into the deck. Both of them going into the poorly lit deck. Alright. So she moved there, did her turn. Not much else she can do. Bill Franks is up, and it's his turn, and he's gonna try to help out Matt. So he's gonna move up, and he's gonna try to knock out or short circuit the machine, and use a sneak attack, and try to hit it. So he's gonna have his 5 attack dice. This is a very strongly set up team right now, by the way. Most games are not like this. Okay, so he's going to try to knock it out. He gets only 1 success. Now the machine gets 3 defense dice because he sneak attacked it. And the machine gets 2 successes, so he successfully blocked the attack and suffers no ill effects. Now, so Bill's a little scared, and he's going to say, good luck there, Matt. It's going to come after you since you spawned it. I'm going to go this way. And he's going to continue to explore the administration wing. So he can draw a new card. And he got a club. Look at that. So he actually got a weapon. Okay, so Bill Franks ends his turn. It's now the machine's turn because they get to go after the last player. So since Matt Lang spawned it, the machine's going to go for him because it's an equal distance here. Normally it would go for the nearest player. So he's going to go there. Now, the machine is going to attack Matt, but Bill has a skill in his hand that he drew earlier. It's the best skill in the game. It's called Save the Day. Now he's going to discard this skill. You can learn the skill at any time that it's relevant. And so this skill will actually allow Bill to rush up to 4 tiles to help either an attacking or defending player or monster. Yes, you can help the monsters if you really want to. But in this case, he's going to help Matt. He's going to add his base defense dice to Matt's defense dice. So that is going to total up of 6 defense dice there. So the machine has this nice little taser arm. It's trying to knock out Matt. So it's going to roll its attack. 0 successes. Bill's rush to save the day was ultimately in vain. So, but it's not going to matter because it's about to reset. So that was a wash. He didn't even have to defend himself. And so a new round starts. Okay, since we last showed a little bit here, Machine got knocked out, and then after knocking it out, Matt Lang went on to explore yet another room, and in doing so drew what's called a hidden encounter, and this will change your objective. So even though Matt is completely sane and has a lot of sanity and everything like that, he now has to do what the succubus demands he does instead. So nobody knows that he has this encounter but him. So it has changed his gameplay style, what he's got to try to accomplish. Now, Annette is way far off and really, really slow. Matt Lang's new objective is to drive another teen insane. And Bill Franks, being close by, having already taken a whole bunch of sanity damage, is actually a pretty good candidate for this. So the monster just tried to wake up, nothing happened, so we're back to Matt's turn. So what Matt's going to do is walk back over here, come back over here to Bill, and he's going to use this item that he's been holding the whole game called the Eerie Snow Globe. Now he's going to roll 2 dice to see what happens on the Eerie Snow Globe. Okay, he rolled a 7. So on the Eerie Snow Globe, a 4 to 10 is going to do 1 sanity damage to each teen within 3 tiles. So he's within 3 tiles, and that's way too far away. It's not going to affect her. So it's actually going to hit Matt 2. So it's going to hit him for 1, and it's going to hit Bill Franks for 1. Now, he's going to roll to see if he broke the item. He didn't. He actually gets to use it again on another turn. Now, when you're trying to drive someone insane, the rules have been modified a bit. So, say he's trying to drive Bill Franks insane. Bill Franks has steel resolve, so he can't quote unquote go insane in traditional way. Basically, he has no insane objective. Now, with the succubus here, trying to drive a teen insane, all he has to do is bring Bill Franks' net sanity to 0 or less to complete the objective. Now, Bill Franks has 4 total sanity and has taken 5 sanity damage. So that brings his net sanity down to -1. So he's actually quote unquote insane for the means of this objective. Now, once you drive another teen insane, he's going to commit suicide. And so Matt Lang commits suicide, and in doing so is going to drop any items he had on the ground. His corpse will be on the ground too in that room. And so Matt Lang commits suicide. Bill Franks dies in the process. They had a quote unquote lovers or a suicide pact together that the succubus reminded them that they had. So Matt has completed his objective, and according to this, is that when you drive another teen insane, and you then commit suicide in your lover's pact, you then both die, but both players win. Now Annette is stuck in here with just the machine as an encounter monster and herself with terrible movement. She does not see a scenario in which she can win. She's going to go ahead and off herself as well, and that is going to end the game. At any point during your turn, you can commit suicide, and you'll just die, and all your stuff will drop to the ground. So, in Annette's case, where things are looking really, really bad for you, sometimes you just want to commit suicide and end it all, just so you can start a new game. Either way, Matt Lang and Bill Franks won because of the succubus's hidden encounter objective that she gave him. Bill Franks would have won on his own had they found a way out, because all he had to do was help defeat an encounter monster before getting out. But as you can see, there was no way out, which often is the case. So as you see with the hidden encounters, things can change in an instant. Since the last time we showed video, there was literally one turn in between. It was just he hit him and he explored and he got possessed. So anything can change in an instant. You can go whack somebody, knock them out, have a suicide pact together, and just throw the game into chaos. That's the beauty of this game, is that it is consistently changing. You can have completed your objective and get possessed before you get out, or whatever it takes, and now you've got a new thing to accomplish. So it's not as easy to win as one might hope. Yet there's usually at least one winner per game, and sometimes everybody wins. And it's all around, it is a beautifully randomized game, mostly dealing with cards here, so you can go in and take out some of the objectives you want to. If you want to have just a purely cooperative game, you can take out the objectives that are purely offensive. You can take out the 0 sanity cards, so you can make your team more sane. However you want to do it, the game is deeply customizable. For the most part, as you saw with the playthrough, I was just moving and exploring, moving, drawing a card, doing whatever the card says. In most cases, drawing items, which again, very rare. And there's a lot of cards in here that are reveal sanity or wound. A lot of things that are gonna do damage to you. The game plays against you a lot, and the more you explore, the more the game plays against you with monsters. We saw 3 encounter monsters pop out in this game, and they were probably 8 turns into the game, and or 8 full rounds into the game. It was surprisingly a quick game. Playing with actual players that would have know what's going on here, this game probably would have taken 30 minutes tops. 20 if you're going at a good pace. So if you want to stick around, I will explain the differences in detail, the differences between what I have here in the prototype and the actual final product. So as I mentioned at the beginning, the box is going to be bigger. The inside of the box for the final product is going to have molded plastic so that it can fit all of the cards and tiles in their own specific locations, and it will have enough room in it as well for the the first expansion that's going to come out with the game. The tiles themselves have all been inked in and digitally touched up, so they're going to look a lot crisper, a lot more beautiful. All of the card art has been redone by another artist who is an amazing comic book artist and has just loved the concept of the game going. When I had the first conversation I ever had with him, and just ran with it, and it just made this B horror comedy of a game absolutely beautiful to look at. And all the teen art, and most of the monsters were done by another artist who she does a great job too. I've digitally remastered everything, all the card backs, the encounter meter, the card fronts. I've made the colors blend a little bit better so you can see things better. I've given background, textures, things like that to each of the skills, the items. The tokens for the most part should remain the same. The health tokens, the sanity damage tokens, the little sealed door tokens, and the encounter tokens. Again, those should be about the same. Those didn't really need an overhaul, seeing as how they're very tiny and they're not. They did well the first time through. The tiles themselves will be larger. These are 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch. Not quite sure what that is metric, but the final product will have 3 inch by 3 inch cards, so it'll be about half an inch bigger on all the way around. So the game board will grow a little bit bigger as you go along. It's nice to have a decent gaming table. You can actually do 4 players or 4 to 6 players at a table this size somewhat comfortably with this size deck. So if you had like a leaf in your table, you could do it very easily, even with the large size tiles. The little character cards that I have here, these are going to be increased in size to 1 inch wide by 2 inches tall. 1 inch wide by like 1.6 inches tall, but they're going to be the 1.5 or 1.2 millimeter thickness punch-out cardstock, which is about as thick as the tiles. So it's going to be a decent thickness, and you're going to be able to keep those. Those will stay nice, good, and strong. They'll stand up and be very durable. I did not like these little plastic clippy things. They don't hold on very well, so when I'm dealing with a new manufacturer, I made sure that we had much better quality product. The encounter meter has been redone graphically now. It is beautiful. It's also going to be out of 1.2 millimeter cardstock, whereas this is just a thin card mat. And you'll have dice that come with the game, and again, huge major overhaul to the game, which you can look at a lot of the new artwork on the Kickstarter, on the Facebook, Instagram, and things like that. So overall, this is going to be it's a huge overhaul of a game for $25 plus shipping. You cannot go wrong. I have played thousands of hours of this game, hundreds of games, and every game has been different. Every game has just been deeply fun. After 50, 60 games, I kind of start to get a little bored of it, but then I go and I play with maybe just one new person or the same old people, and the game plays out differently, and it just re-sparks my love for this game. You can make home rules where you start off with the encounter meter already up, monsters already in there. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you can take cards out if you want to. You can design the game to play the way you want to play it. And if you bid high enough, on the Kickstarter, and you want to have a team created with you, I'll have an open dialogue with you. If you have any good ideas for the expansion, we can talk it out, and maybe I can even look into another player-friendly or a cooperative expansion pack that comes out after the first expansion. So, thanks for all for watching, and I hope you enjoy the game.